Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on this matchbox Leslie Ferrari Berlinetta. I don't know if that's how you say it, or it's a Berlinetta. I'm going to call it Berlinetta. Yeah, we'll call it that. As you can see, this is basically a mint condition. Mint. Except you flip it around, we got a nasty scratch over here. Look at this. Look at this wheel. It's like somebody basically dragged it. I might be able to fix that. Maybe, maybe not. These wheels come off, so I might be able to flip it. Oh yeah. Notice that the base does not have paint. We got the rear hook here perfect. Front details, so it looks like it did have headlights, and the grille is painted in. This is very nice. Wanted to compare it with this. I bought this on eBay a while ago. It came from the Netherlands, and I was gonna restore this, but this thing is just beautiful. It's just mint. I don't really want to touch it, but look at the size difference on the wheels. So if you were wondering, they are not the same size. And on this one, you could also remove the wheels. These have letters which say Leslie, England. Here it is. There it goes. So to talk about this car, there's, according to my book, which I'm gonna leave a link to this book because if you like collecting cars, you should get it. There's the green with the wire hubs, and BPW means black plastic wheels, which is this right here. Green with chrome hubs and black plastic wheels, which is this type. This is a Mustang. See it in the future. There it is. There is a blue with wire hubs and BPW, so blue is an option. Ferraris always look good, cool on blue since they're not commons. And then there is the rarest of them all, the red with the BPW. See, but it doesn't have any other information. Now in this book, if you go to the end, we find ourselves another picture right here, the Ferrari Berlinetta transition. If anybody knows what transition means, let me know in the comments. Maybe it's because it had those type of wheels again, which are these, and then they transition into the wire hub, which I believe the wire hubs look a lot better. So I really don't know right now if I should paint it either. I don't want to do green, that's for sure. So blue or red. I might go red, but I'm not going to change the wheels. I'm going to keep these because I really like them. They look a lot better. So I'm going to drill this apart and I'll be back. Alright guys, so recently I just made a video called how to do a wheel swap, and on that video I go over all the drill bit sizes and everything and the whole process. So if you want to learn about that, please go check out that video. And you just saw how I used my Dremel to completely remove that post that was holding the windshield. And I do this before I do anything else because after I paint the car, I don't want to run the risk of getting it scratched up. So once I do that, I clean the outer edge of the post to make sure that it does not interfere with the base. I completely tapped. That means I did the threads to hold the screw. I put everything back together just so I make sure that once I paint the car, I'm not gonna find any surprises, right? This is the suspension, which I find that with these old Matchbox, they're not working because they're bent the wrong way. So little heat and I bend it this way, the suspension should go back to working. Or I can make my own with a piece of metal. You can see it has from factory a little mark here. Maybe that was made from the axle here. And here it is. Now with this car, I just noticed, so from time to time you're gonna get a car like this. If you see the base here, you can see that the drill bit did not touch the base here. That's the point of me using that drill bit size. Even though it did not touch it, the hole is very, very big. On some cars, you're gonna find that. When you find that issue, the normal screw that I use doesn't really work because the screw fits through the hole. Let's see if I can show you here. See, went all the way through. In that event, you're gonna need some washers, which I'm also gonna leave the link in the video description. The washer will give you the surface you need for the screw to fully work. Now the washer takes up some of the length of the screw, so if you have the really short screw, it might not work. That's why I always carry in my toolbox, I have longer screw, like here, see? It's not doing anything. Which is because, well, actually the washer fits in there perfect. So I'm gonna have to use a longer screw, same size and everything, 256, it's just longer. But I'm gonna do that right now. This back one, I'm also gonna do a new one, and I'll be back. All right, guys. So here is the size comparison. I always like to keep these around because in the event like something like this happens, I could easily fix it. Now all you got to do is use a Dremel cutting wheel to cut this. If you decide to just hold it with pliers, you might run the chance of damaging the thread. So what I like to do is I also keep around these nuts, which are 256 nuts, right? And 2 will give me basically the same size of the screw that I typically use. But if I use 3, that would give me the space or enough length when I cut to make this work. And the reason why I use this, the nuts, is because when you cut, you run the risk of damaging the thread. So by having a nut in place, once you remove the nut will tend to fix the thread. That way you don't have to go crazy, you know, and everything will go back nice and smooth. So I'm gonna, you can see here, I'm putting it here, and having 3, it makes it easier to lock them in place so they don't move around when you're trying to cut. So you just give it a little tug here, make everything tight, and now I'm ready to cut. I'll be back. Alright, so now that we have proper size screws, we put everything back together. And again, they sell these screws at different length, but not all the cars are gonna have the same issue. So I rather buy the longer ones and just cut to the appropriate size that I need. Now you can see that that one went in long enough to hold the base tight. So now all I gotta do is take everything apart and put the casting in a paint remover, and then the base I'm gonna do the hot water to invert the tires, and I'll be back. So I have some really hot water here, and I'm just gonna dip the base with the wheels and give it some time, make sure everything gets hot, and I'll be back. So you just saw how easy it is. I gave it about 5 minutes. Makes everything a lot easier. So here is the tire that I flipped. Now the damaged side is on the inside. You will never tell that it's damaged. So I don't have to do a lot to this base. I just might hit it with some steel wool, make it a little brighter. But that should be it for this. Well, I can also remove everything and do a wire brush with the dribble. They're still soft, so I can take them off. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be back. Alright, so they're not as hard to put back on, but you can see I just lightly cleaned it up. Not perfect, but that should be good enough. Make it like it's make it look like it's factory fresh. It cleaned up, very nice. So now I just gotta wait for the paint remover and paint. I'll be back. So the car is back from paint stripping. Check it out. Nice details here. It's kind of weird how they used to do cars, where now this is recessed, and before it's sticking out like that. So this is the area where we want to check out. That's where the scratch was. You can see there, it's not pretty bad. So I'm gonna clean it off with some steel wool and then check it out, and I'll then decide if I need to sand it down. So let's do it. Alright guys, so still see it. I mean, the white primer, it's probably going to cover that up, but I'm going to use one of these sanding pads that I have, trying to smooth it out a little bit more. Alright guys, so that little scratch you see there, it's basically very hard to see without the zoom. So I'm pretty sure the white primer is going to cover that up. If it doesn't, I'll sand it down, and I'll let the primer do the work. So for now, I'm just gonna paint it, and I'll be back. Alright guys, check it out. Fresh out of the oven. If you're new to the channel, you see here that scratch is no longer visible. There is kind of a scratch here by the door, but I'm not gonna worry about that. I use Krylon flat white as a base. I do have an airbrush, but I think I'm too lazy to dig everything out and take out the air compressor and all of that. The good thing is, if you want to use an airbrush, you could just spray this directly into the little airbrush, because this does have the thinner, and it will go through the airbrush. The thing is that that takes too much time, and then I will have to clean it to use the red color, which I also use the Krylon red color, and I only use that when I really don't have anything else to do, because it does take more time. And for now, the result here is, I want to say, just as good and quicker. You know what I'm saying? I basically use the airbrush for the red lines, because I have no choice. But this is a cheaper alternative. You can decan the paint. There are videos on YouTube on how to decan a spray paint, and you can just save it in a glass jar and then use it directly from there. But just make sure you follow, get a good video, because there is a procedure where you have to eliminate all the gas from the paint before you cover it up. But you know, it's a lot easier than buying like testers enamel, where you have to thin it out and go through all that mess. You could use paint from a rattle can, and it's cheaper for a lot more quantity. So let's do the red, and I'll be back. All right guys, check it out. So I use the Krylon gloss banner red. Gives me a nice bright Ferrari red. So now I just gotta put it back together and do the details, and I'll be back. All right, guys, here it is. Zoom in a little. I think it came out beautiful. Check it out. Suspension is back working. Did the details on the back. Door handle, front lights, front grille. There it is. Little dust. So that's gonna be it, guys, for this video. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and hit that little bell so you get a notification every time I put up a new video. And let me know in the comments what you think of the new Ferrari Berlinetta. So again, thank you for watching and peace out.